Topics: special characters, block and inline elements, color, and style. Special characters or HTML entities, if you notice on some of your pages, you will notice some garbage or gibberish. This garbage is a special character that is not being interpreted correctly by your browser. In most cases, this mistake might be a quotation mark, although it could also represent other symbols. In order to correct this mistake, we need to place the correct character entity or special character code. In this list, as you can see, there's two ways to establish the entity. Could be by name or could be by number. This is a list of the most basic or most common special characters: non-breaking space, ampersand, left double quote, right double quote, and bullet points. In the code, what you're going to do is replace the old quotation marks with the new special character. In this case, the word loves me is surrounded by the left double quote and the right double quote special character code. When you see this on the browser, instead of looking at that gibberish, you're going to see the character that you are expecting. Block and inline elements. Block elements are containers or boxes for sets of information and separates the information from other sets. So far, we've been using headings and paragraphs, and those are block elements. These are some examples of block elements. In contrast, inline elements affect information without breaking the content. They flow along with the information, hence the name inline elements. In the code, these inline elements are tags, and you surround the information with those tags with open and closing tags. In this case, trying to make the word or words stand as bold, we establish the open tag B and we close the tag V at the end of the text that we want to affect. If we want to turn the words into italics, we use the open tag I, and at the end of the text that we want to affect, we close that with the closing tag I. In this case, if you notice, we're working inside of a paragraph. So the information that we're adding doesn't break the paragraph or doesn't create a subset within the paragraph. Other inline elements. One that might cause a little bit of confusion is the tag break. Break is an inline element. Although it separates the information, it doesn't create independent boxes. So break could be used to separate the content, but the information will be affected the same way within the whole box. Many inline elements are also called formatting elements. This is a list of the most common ones, and some of them, although they use different tags, the reaction will be the same. For example, bold and strong, both of them will look the same. Italics and emphasis will look the same. And underline and inserted text will react the same way. There is also a formatting element for quotes. In this case, you establish the open tag Q and you close the information with closing tag Q. Instead of using this special character code, we could use this alternative. Color. There are three main systems for color. One is names, the other one is RGB, and the other one is known as hex. We're not going to be using names. We'll be coming back to RGB later in the semester. We're concentrating on hex. Hex stands for hexadecimal. A hex color always starts with a pound sign, and it's followed by 6 characters that could range from 0 to 9 and then from A to F. A will stand for the number 10 and F stands for 15. So the range from A to F represents the numbers from 10 to 15. Hex colors use the RGB system, also known as the additive color system. And if you combine all the colors with all the intensity, you always get the color white. in the hex system, the characters are arranged by pairs. The first two characters are for the red channel, the second pair is for green channel, and the last pair is for the blue channel. 0 is the lowest range and will always represent black. F is the highest range of the color. When all colors are combined, it creates white. In this example, if you notice, black or pure black has all 6 characters in 0, while pure white has all the characters in F. We are going to be using web-safe colors. There's 216 web-safe colors. The way to identify them is by the pairs in the characters. For example, this color, FF0066, is using the full range of red, no green, and some blue, and it will give you this type of pink fuchsia color. On the other hand, the full range of red, full range of green, and a little bit of blue will give you this yellow. The important thing is, if you notice, they're all typed in pairs. Disclaimer, you don't need to memorize the colors. You just need to know how to apply them. We'll be applying color through something that is called style. Style is an attribute. In order to apply an attribute, we will do that inside of the opening tag. We'll start by typing the word style, followed by equal sign, and then opening quotes. The property or rule is followed by a colon. After the colon, we establish the value, and then we close the whole rule with a semicolon, then closing quotes, and then closing tag. Between the open quotes and closing quotes, you shouldn't have any space. For example, if I want to change the font of my anchor, I will apply the attribute style. The property or rule is going to be font family, and the value is going to be Arial. I'm going to close the whole description with a semicolon, closing with double quotes, and closing the tag. A more complex example will be properties that require multiple values. For example, borders. If I want to establish a border for a heading, I establish the property border followed by the colon, and the value is divided into 3 sections. The first one establishes how thick the border is going to be. Then I type a space. Then I describe the type of line that I'm going to use, followed by a space, and then the color of the line. If I want to combine multiple rules, I just need to type style once, and I apply the properties to that same style. For example, if I want to modify the size of the font and the color of the font inside of the same paragraph, I will apply the rules to the style, starting with one of the first properties. Then I follow that with colon, I specify the value, and I close the whole rule with a semicolon. This indicates the end of the rule. Then I start the next rule by establishing the property, then followed by colon, then the value. I close the rule with semicolon, close the double quotes, and close the tag. For now, we're going to be using mostly these 5 rules: color, font size, font family, background color, and border.